It's Monday, the start of another week. It's hard to believe we're already 214 pages into this book. But anyway, today we're going to continue talking about the small cards. And just as a reminder, all the 2s, 3s, and 4s are of the small cards represent degrees of the zodiac in the cardinal signs of the zodiac. And then all the 5, 6, and 7s represent the fixed signs of the zodiac. And all the 8s, 9s, and 10s, the mutable signs of the zodiac. Now the signs of the zodiac are broken up into 4 categories by element. So the wands are fire. And so the fire cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And the fixed signs of the zodiac, the 4 fixed signs attributed to fire, or fixed signs, are Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. We see those, the emblems of those fixed signs in the corners of like the Wheel of Fortune card and such. And the mutable signs of the zodiac, the 8s, 9s, and 10s are attributed to. That's Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. And each of the small cards is also assigned a planet. And they're assigned in order. That's the descending order of the Tree of Life. And that's how, and if we would start at 0 degrees Aries, we'd start with Mars and go Mars, Sol, Venus, Mercury, Luna, and then start all over again. The pattern repeats it. Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sol, Venus, etc. After that refresher course, let's continue. Now, yesterday we talked about the 2, 3, and 4 of wands. So wands are fire, and 2s, 3s, and 4s represent the cardinal signs. And the cardinal signs of fire is Aries. So these 3 cards represented 10 degrees, 20 degrees, and the 30 degrees, the 3 decans of Aries. Today we're going to talk about the fixed signs of the zodiac, or the 5, 6, and 7 of wands, which will be fixed fire, and the fixed fire zodiac sign is Leo. So this is the first 10 degrees of Leo, second 10 degrees of Leo, and the third 10 degrees of Leo. So there. Let's start with the 5 of wands, which is called strife. Saturn in Leo. It's 0 degrees to 10 degrees Leo. And there's a good picture of it. And look inside that orb there, and you can probably see Crowley's own Sun and Moon conjoined mark of the beast. And see that it says Saturn in Leo. Okay. July 22nd to August 1st. The original title is Lord of Strife. The Golden Dawn model, 2 hands, one from each side of the card, appear from clouds and clasp in the center with the grip of the First Order. They hold 4 wands, crossed 2 over 2. A third hand appears from a cloud at the lower part of the card, holding an upright wand which passes between the others. Flames flash where the wands meet. And there's no hands there, but that's more or less the pattern that Harris uses. The king scale of colors for number 5, Geburah, is orange. The 4 scales for Saturn are indigo, black, blue-black, black, and black-rayed blue. The 4 scales for Leo are yellow, greenish, deep purple, gray, reddish, amber. The formula that makes up the card that we've been talking about is number 5, Geburah, of Wands, which is at Zilith on the tree or on the Kabbalistic world, plus Saturn in Leo. That formula equals strife. In the Book of Thoth, Crowley writes more about the 5 of Wands than any other small card of the suit. It could be because this card represents the first decan of Leo, which happens to be where we find the ascendant in Crowley's astrological natal chart. Crowley identified strongly with Leo. His signature even bore the astrological sign of Leo in place of the A of Aleister. This is one of only 3 cards on which Crowley literally left his mark. If we look closely at the orb of the winged solar disk atop the large version of the chief's adept's wand in the center of the card, we find, as Lon pointed out, the image of Crowley's personal magical device, the Mark of the Beast, upon the 7-pointed Star of Babylon. This symbol is the device of the Ace of Discs, by tradition one of the cards that most often bears the signature of the deck's creator. It also appears on the Prince of Wands, who also rules the 30-degree period in which we find Crowley's ascendant. Like Crowley himself, this card is a wild mix of profound contradictions. Fiery Leo is happy enough in fiery Geburah, and Geburah implies the motion and offers an environment of strength and activity. Saturn, on the other hand, presents a heavy and constant resistance to all this. This card is a picture of hot, pressurized magma struggling to reach the surface of the volcano, but frustrated by the sheer weight of the mountain itself. See Chapter 20 for the general divinatory meaning. Okay, we'll look at the 6 of Wands next. Now, just a little test here. Saturn was attributed to the 5 of Wands. Keeping in mind our Tree of Life order, I will ask the class if the 5 was Saturn, what's going to be the next planet? What planet's going to be assigned to the 6 of Wands? What comes after Saturn? Jupiter. Jupiter in Leo is the 6 of Wands. And that's 10 degrees to 20 degrees Leo. That's August 6th through August 11th, approximately. The original title is Lord of Victory. The Golden Dawn model, 2 hands appear from the clouds right and left of the card and clasp in the center with the grip of the First Order. They hold 6 wands, crossed 3 and 3. Flames appear where the wands meet. And that's pretty much what Harris did there. Isn't that a lovely card? The king scale of color for Tifereth, which is number 6 on the Tree of Life, is clear pink rose. The 4 scales for Jupiter are violet, blue, rich purple, bright blue, rayed yellow emerald. The 4 scales for Leo, yellow, greenish, deep purple, gray, reddish, amber. The formula is number 6, Tifereth of Wands at Zilith, plus Jupiter in Leo equals victory. The 6 of Wands is called victory. The 6 of Cups is called pleasure. The 6 of Swords is science. And the 6 of Discs is success. All the 6s are wonderful cards. What gives? Are the 4 6s special? You bet they are. On the Tree of Life, Tifereth is the direct reflection of Kether. It is the son of the father. It's perfectly balanced, left to right and top to bottom. It's the heart center of our psychic bodies and the ruach of our souls. It rules the central Sun King, surrounded by the spheres of the planets. Hesed, Jupiter, Geburah, Mars, Netzach, Venus, Hod, Mercury, Yesod, Moon, and even Binah, Saturn. Consequently, no matter how incompatible the card's planetary and zodiacal relationships may be, if that card is a 6, we are in Tifereth, and if we are in Tifereth, we're looking good. In the case of the 6 of Wands, we are doubly blessed with the happy marriage of expansive, boisterous, and generous Jupiter in powerful sun-ruled Leo. This is a recipe for triumphant victory. This card is a relatively faithful version of the Golden Dawn model. The wands are a bit more elaborate and represent those used by various Golden Dawn officers. The 2 topped with winged solar discs are those of the Chief Adept, and the others are clearly the Phoenix and Lotus wands. See Chapter 20 for the general divinatory meaning of the card. And here's one more look at it. I'm almost always happy to see this card come up in a reading. Okay, if the planet assigned to this card was Jupiter, I'll ask the class, what's the next planet going to be? Do I hear you say Mars? Good for you! There we are. We're going to talk about the 7 of Wands, and of course it is Mars in Leo. So this would be the 3rd decan of Leo. The 7 of Wands is called Valor. Crowley spells it with a U. Valor. Mars in Leo, 20 degrees to 30 degrees Leo. And I want to point out there's a typo in the book. So if you're looking on page 219 and where it says 20 degrees to 30 degrees Aries, it should mean 20 to 30 degrees Leo. My feet are made of clay. And typos happen all the time. August 12th through August 22nd. The original title is The Lord of Valor. The Golden Dawn model. 2 gripped hands holding 6 wands, 3 are crossed. The third hand appears from a cloud at the lower part of the card, holding an upright wand which passes between the others. Flames flash where wands meet. King's scale of color for Netzach is amber. Netzach's number 7, of course. The 4 scales for Mars: red, Venetian red, bright red, rayed azure, or emerald. The 4 scales for Leo are yellow, greenish, deep purple, gray, and reddish amber. Our formula is number 7, Netzach of wands, which is at zenith, plus Mars in Leo equals valor. The background of the 7 of wands is deep purple, but other than that, this card is a near carbon copy of the 6 of wands. A crude 7th wand, more like a club, overshadows the other 6. Let's see. And delivers a sobering message. Quote, "The 4 sevens are not capable of bringing any comfort." This is what Crowley says in the Book of Thoth. The 4 sevens are not capable of bringing any comfort. Each one represents a degeneration of the element. Its utmost weakness is exposed in every case. So 7s aren't all that hot when they appear in a reading. There is still enough power and energy in the 7 of wands to slug it out. But the situation has degenerated into such a mess that nobody's sure with whom to slug it out. It may be that a blow here or there will find its mark, but more times than not, it's a waste of energy. Crowley sums it up this way. Patriotism, so to speak, is not enough. Warlike Mars may find a measure of moral support in proud and fiery Leo, but machismo is a tragic joke this far down the tree of life in the weak and unbalanced environment of Netzach, the natural home of sensitive, peace-loving Venus. The high art of battle has been replaced with the chaos of a mindless melee. Crowley says, the army has been thrown into disorder. If victory is to be won, it will be by dint of individual valor, a soldier's battle. See Chapter 20 for a general divinatory meaning of this card. So that's the 7 of Wands. Tomorrow we will pick up and finish off this small card suit of Wands with the 8, 9, and 10 of Wands. And as you can see by the Sagittarius up there in the corner, the 8s, 9s, and 10s are the mutable signs of the zodiac, and the mutable sign of fire is, of course, Sagittarius. So we'll be looking at the 3 decans of Sagittarius represented by the 8, 9, and 10 of Wands, and we'll be doing that tomorrow. And that's where we'll stop today with our reading. I'm going to record a very, very short little video almost immediately after I sign off this morning. in honor of my dearly departed friend and colleague, James Wasserman. But it'll only be a little moment, a little formality. But I didn't want to attach it to today's thing here. So have a great week, everybody, and especially around Thanksgiving here. Just be careful, be sane, and try to keep your loved ones safe. And just be smart and intelligent about this whole thing. We'll get through it. In the meantime, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.